Hey, Bryce Tubbs here. Today, I just want to talk about, what to do if your clients and potential clients complain that your price is too high. So I'm going to share my screen. I present or prepared this document to kind of make sure my thoughts are in alignment, and just make sure we hit every single point we need to. So I made a post a little while ago about like how accountants and bookkeepers can raise their price ethically, and sign up more clients. And like people were leaving me messages saying, what to do if they complain the price is too high, right? Because it's one thing for you to try and like raise your price. It's another thing for people to accept the price and to really sign up to get those higher price points, which is something I completely understand. So I wanted to kind of break down both how to prevent people from, even complaining that your price is too high by basically handling it, beforehand, and what to do after you get it, just in case you didn't handle it properly in the beginning. So disclaimer, this is not a silver bullet. It will not work 100% of the time. Anyone who tells you that you have a 100% close rate is either confused, is kind of fudging the data, or is just outright lying. You're never going to have 100% of people sign up with you. It's very, very challenging to do that. Most people never done that in their life. Now, the main thing though is you have to keep in mind it keeps longer for certain people to implement stuff. So like maybe they see a video and they just like, kind of disregard it. Now, the longer that it takes for you to implement this, what's inside of this video, the harder it's going to be for you to actually reach your goal. Now, if you want to skip the videos, because there are a lot of videos on this channel, and you just want to go straight ahead to getting a step-by-step formula to do sales, then I encourage you to click the link inside the description below to book a call with me to see if our mentorship program is a good fit. So now I'm going to skip down to how you do the presentation, because I want to stay focused on the main question, which is how to deal with price objections. Now, before you state your price, you need to do two things. Okay. So this is after you've done your presentation, you're getting to your price. And now you're basically saying your price is this. Okay. The first is a temperature check. The second is a trial close. So a temperature check is when you ask the person if they have any questions after you explain a major pillar / milestone of your service. You have to ask if they understood what you just said. Now, one mistake most people wait or make is waiting till the end of the call with a potential client to ask questions. Okay. You cannot do that. Do not just go through your presentation and be like, do you have any questions? And they have like a million questions. You want to do it sequentially. So after you maybe talk about how you're going to get their books or cleaned up first, okay? Do you have any questions about this cleanup process? Now they're going to tell you this. Second part is like maintaining the books, okay? So that's a maintenance. Do you have any question how we're going to do that? Third step is training, or third step is educating your team on how to do it. Okay, do you have any questions on that? Get those questions answered inside of those different pillars rather than at the end, okay? Because you do not want to get bombarded with a million questions, okay? Because then you just start getting confused. You start giving away random answers. The prospect starts getting confused. They end up needing to think about it and they don't buy from you, okay? You have to make sure it's a very controlled environment where you're answering questions at the time frame that you want to answer questions, so there's no lingering questions at the end, okay? Another reason why we do this, right, is because if you do pillar number one, right? For example, let's say that pillar number one is to do like a diagnostic, right? Where it's going to go look at their books, look at everything they have, and just make a review of it, right? They might have a question about what a diagnostic review actually means that just wasn't answered the way you presented it. So if you go to your pillar two, pillar three, pillar four, pillar five, talk about all these different things, they've been thinking about this question and not listening to anything that you just said for the last like 5 to 10 minutes. So they're still on pillar number one, and you just went through pillar two, pillar three, pillar four, right? And you've lost them. So we get to answer the questions when the question occurs and do it after the pillar, because you understand, like, if you're given these detailed pillars and someone has never done this before, they've never worked with an accountant, or maybe they've worked with a bad bookkeeper in the past, they don't understand like what good help means. So when you're actually defining, you're actually showing them like this is the right way to do these things, they're gonna be like, wait, what? And then you have to answer their questions right then and there. So there's no lingering questions and you're moving very sequentially. Next thing is a trial close. Okay, so a trial close is when you attempt to get someone to make a decision to see where their head is at. And it can actually alert you of whether they have reservations or if you missed a question or two since the last time you did your temperature check. Okay, it can also alert you of uncertainty. So the biggest thing that you're actually really struggling and facing on a lot of consultation calls is uncertainty. It's not that they need to think about it; it's that they don't really know that working with you is going to be the answer to their problem, or else they would automatically do it. They just thought, okay, that you're the answer to my problem. I can afford it. I have the money in the bank. I don't have anyone else doing this, or the person I'm doing, I'm really looking to like replace. There's no reason why they wouldn't get started with you, right? But if they're uncertain that working with you is better than what they're currently doing or another alternative, then they're going to think about it and then just disappear, right? So a good trial close is basically like, when are you thinking about getting started? How are you feeling? Do you feel like this will solve problem X, problem Y, problem Z that we spoke about earlier? Is this something you'd like to pursue further? Okay, now why are we asking? So when are you thinking about getting started? When I ask that question, if someone says maybe 2 months from now, I'm like, ooh, I know I missed something. I have to go back and have to loop around. If someone says today, okay, cool, that means they're firing, ready to go and move on to the next step. If someone said maybe 3 days, I'll be like, there's probably a very specific reason why they said 3 days. We have to kind of dig into why they said 3 days, but at least we know it's a pretty good indication that they might be ready to go. How are you feeling about this? Okay, this is actually going to be like, oh, I feel great. I like this. This is awesome. That's what I need. Okay, I'm trying to get them to, excuse me, to confirm to themselves that they really like this thing. And keep in mind, I would only say one of these per conversation, right? I wouldn't just say, what do you think about getting started? How are you feeling? Do you like to solve problem X, Y, Z? No. What do you think about getting started? Just let them talk and let them tell you the answer, and then you can just move on to the next step. These are just different examples. Okay. You can also use different trial close at different loops inside of your objection handling, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I want to really just see kind of like what the person is thinking, so I understand like how much work do I have to do in order to get them to sign up, right? Again, if you get a very positive response, then you want to move forward. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to make it. Now, if you want some help growing your business so you can avoid making all the mistakes that cause people to fail, click on the link either above or below the video to see if working together in the mentorship program would be a good fit for you and your goals. Okay. If that's you, I'll see you on the call. I'm going to put a link actually inside the description. Also, if you're afraid that maybe you won't be able to afford the program, like it's not a cheap program, right? It's multiple four figures, right? Which is a funny thing to say. Right. So we have multiple funding partners to make the program accessible to you so you can get your foot in the door for the program and then just be off the races so you can reach your financial goals. Now that's if you qualify for one of the funding partners. They are kind of stringent on some cases. It is based on like your credit score, right? So talk soon. If it makes sense for you, I'll see you on the call. If not, I will see you inside the next video. If you want this document that you see on the screen, go ahead and comment document and I'll actually send it to you. And there's also some more growth resources, like some behind the scenes coaching calls, as well as like student recaps. So you just kind of watch what it looks like from other people's mouths who are in the program, like how to grow their business. What do they make that change? Like, what do they do to change everything, change the situation? So I'll talk to you soon. I will see you inside of the next video. Take it easy.